Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I am Troy. You don't need to know about me, my last name, and where I come from, or anything. Just trust me, I'm here for your best interest. And with me, I have a dear friend, a former representative for District 19, Assemblywoman, for one full term, right?
Yeah.
City Council, Mesquite, Nevada. What else do you real estate entrepreneur? Just really a firebrand, jack of all trades.
Oh, Lord. Wow. Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Put on a mask.
So what we're going to do is basically have a little impromptu conversation, some questions. We never really talk about you. We always have guests on for the Anti-Black show, ask them all manner of questions about their backgrounds and stuff. And one thing we haven't really established on our channel as of yet is who you are. Questions about you that people are dying to know out there.
I hate those questions.
So we're going to dive into it. You are in the hot seat. This is the hot seat with Anti-Black.
Hosted by Troy.
Unknown man, number one. In the credits, extra, number one.
Guy in the camo shirt.
You can't see me.
Oh. Am I talking to myself?
The camo is a lie, I'll tell you that.
All I can see is a head.
Okay, let's get serious here.
All right. I'm serious.
What is your favorite movie?
Oh, hell yeah. Gosh, I have so many, but I would say National Treasure is like one of my favorites.
Oh, classic.
It's like treasure hunting plus America
Yeah.
plus Nicolas Cage before he was weird.
I don't know, before we knew it was red, probably. The lemon juice on the Declaration of Independence.
If you're going to do that, it needs to be like an expert person.
Exactly. One thing interesting about you is working with you in the office and hearing your playlist of music. You never know what's going to play. Where does that come from?
My dad's really big into music. My whole family's into music. So growing up, it'd be like my dad literally carries around a harmonica. I post about it on social media. Like, we'll just be somewhere and he'll just play a harmonica. He always has one.
Oh, wow.
Or also guitar, piano, whatever. So just always growing up listening to music.
Wow.
All kinds of different kinds of music.
Very seasoned. It's something about peanut butter jelly or some outlaw country. You never know. It's actually, it does wonders for our productivity here.
Does it?
It's never that distracting.
I don't know what kind of music you like, really. So I'm just always like, well, I guess he's going to listen to whatever comes out here of my phone.
No, it's actually great. When people get outside of their comfort zone or what they think they like, you never know. You always discover some things. I've added some stuff to the playlist that I've heard here incidentally. So thanks for that. So
anytime.
What is success to you?
Oh, man. Dang, that's a good question. Freedom to be at work if I want to be at work or not. And creating a business. Real estate is kind of a job. In the regard that, like, if I'm not here, if I'm not here, it kind of doesn't work.
Right.
And that's not really a business. That's a job. So I would love to get this to be an actual business where I don't have to be here all the time. I love being here. Yeah. But I can't be away from my phone for like more than 4 minutes.
I can attest to that. As somebody who has to do regular meetings with you, I know.
Yeah.
We sit down at 5 minutes in, there's 3 calls, and that actually is something interesting that you are always working. How many vacations or family visits have you had to cut short because of your accessibility and your job and what it requires of you?
All of them. But you know what? That's just the way it is, right? You just have to be, I have to be available to our clients until I can get more people like you and grow the team, really like partnerships with people that want to grow this into something, because otherwise you just have one person trying to do everything, which is what I've been doing. And so it's not sustainable.
Sustainability is the key there, especially with growth, things that you could have just white knuckled through
Right.
before becomes more and more unfeasible as I would say the capacity of the business grows.
Yeah, and you know what, honestly, to be totally transparent, I feel like I keep saying this, but I've kind of hit a wall, like I would be at the office at 6 a.m. every day, leave at 6 p.m, and I just have kind of, I guess, I don't know, I wouldn't say burnout because I still work a lot, but I'm definitely not doing that. Like I was here at 6:30 this morning, which is nice. It's nice to have that time before everybody gets here, before my phone starts blowing up to like get work done. But I would be lying if I said that it was like it was 6 months ago. It's hard to maintain that level.
Yeah, it's unrealistic to expect that of yourself anyway, if I may add. But I do see the benefit of coming in super early because you get to prop the door open. All the businesses around are closed, so it's just kind of like the fresh air coming in and no real distraction. You can get down to business. Well, that's all I had for you. Thank you. I'm just kidding.
You're dismissed.
What's something you learned from your time representing District 19 as an Assemblywoman? Was there something that really surprised you about the way the laws are written or the system itself? Were you taken aback at all, or were you inspired by it?
Well, it took me like a decade to get there, literally a decade. I ran the first time I won in, I think, 2018, 2017. So I had run before in like 2007. I guess it was literally one decade later I finally won. And I got there and I remembered somebody saying, it's funny, you always dream about winning or whatever, and you get there and you're like, wow, I can't believe I'm here. And then you're not there very long and you're like, wow, I can't believe all of these people are here. Like, it's not an impressive group of people. I don't know, I don't want to sound like a jerk, but it's just not. Like, it's a lot of people who are either in the government sector, have their teacher, nothing against teachers, but there's not, a lot of government employees, a lot of lawyers and teachers and people that have never really done what we do, which is go to work, build something on your own, not relying on governments or somebody else to pay, so like sign your paycheck. And the scary thing about that is you have people that have never done a lot of these things that they're governing on, but they are governing on them. And that would be okay if you'd ask for help or you'd bring in people that are experts that aren't lobbyists. But a lot of times they rely on lobbyists, and lobbyists work for big groups. They're not actually asking people that are in those industries, or they just flat out assume that they know, right? Like, I'm a legislator, I won, therefore I'm hot to trot and I know everything, which is not obviously true. Yeah. Just winning doesn't mean you like become all-knowing. Right. So that was one of the things, like it was during COVID when I was there, so there weren't lobbyists in the building. It was a really weird time. Wow. But I would call teachers, I would do big email blasts and ask people in the district, like, what do you think? Like, one of the big things was the death penalty. And I could make the argument either way. Yeah. Right? As a Christian, as a conservative who believes in basically, if you break the law, you do the crime, you do the time type deal. I could argue either side. Right. But at the end of the day, it's always that question of like, do I represent people and I do what I think is right because they elected me to represent them, or do I ask them and see what the majority of them think? Like, because there are two different styles, right? You were elected to do a job, but that does that mean you should make all the decisions and you just get to decide because they elected you? I don't know if that makes sense. Versus if you were to like poll a bunch of people in the district and say, okay, if I send out 10,000 emails or I ask people in the district on social media and the majority of them say this, if I disagree, what am I supposed to do? Right? I think I'm supposed to do what they would like me to do. Right. So I did that a lot. and we would do petitions. So we would get petitions and have a bunch of people sign them, and then we would take them, print them out, and like deliver them to all the legislators. I don't know. We did a bunch of creative, different stuff.
Wow.
So it
must have been a really interesting time, unprecedented, in fact, of COVID. I know that you took a big stand for masking. You famously took your mask off and got censored for it, right?
Yep.
Wow. Interesting. And now hindsight is 2020. We can all look back and clearly, I mean, it would be hard to argue that you didn't do the right thing then, because they got a little crazy with stuff. They got very, very crazy.
Super crazy, yeah. Well, the guy that ran after me that took my seat, he just resigned. And so the county commission appointed a Republican to run in that seat. And I've been thinking about running for my old seat. And one of the big, I guess, Achilles heel that I might have would be that they would come back, whoever my opponent was, and be like, well, you were censured, therefore your constituents were unrepresented during that time. And so they could use that as a bad thing, right? So that is something that I guess I thought about it in the moment, but it was like, it doesn't really matter if I never get reelected. I just have to do what's right now, because I could die, or I could just lose or never come back here. You only get one shot to do the thing. So,
right.
So I was like, well, I just have to do it.
Right.
Regardless. So we'll see. If I ran, we would have to see what people thought about it.
Right. And smearing you for actually taking a stand for what you believed is right. That's probably what people voted for you for.
Yeah, I mean, that's what everyone tells us they're going to do, but then you don't really know until they get there, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, well, what are they really going to do?
Interesting. So what does that look like, managing this business and then deciding to step away from politics? How do they, does one have to go on hold for the other to happen, or?
No, so that would be something we would have to like help everyone that works with us or watches the show or whatever to understand, is that being in the legislature, you're elected for a 2-year term, but you're really only there for 4 months out of every other year. So I would be in Carson City for 4 months, and then the rest of the time you do nothing, because thank God we have a part-time legislature. So they're really only in session during that short time. But when I went last time, there were a lot of people that were like, you moved away, you don't do real estate anymore, you're this, so people don't really understand. It's not like going to Congress where it's a full-time job. It's a part-time job. You make, I want to say it was like $16,000 for the entire thing. Mm. So realistically, when you think about how much it costs for you to live there, to fly back and forth, you don't actually make anything. If anything, you end up losing money doing it.
Right.
So I could do both, but we have to work on messaging, like letting people know that it's not a full-time job and I'm not retiring from real estate, because as one of my mentors says, you can't save the world unless you can pay the bills. So still got to be able to make the mortgage payment.
Yep. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Your family is notorious in the area. Well-regarded, prominent figures. First of all, you have a lot of brothers and sisters, don't you? What's your family like?
I'm the oldest of 10 kids, so there's 6 girls and 4 boys. And then, everyone's starting to have kids now, finally. I started way earlier than everyone else, so my kids are all out of the house, but everyone else is starting to have kids, so they're just multiplying like crazy.
As families should, honestly.
As families should.
Right.
I love that.
You guys come from Vegas, or?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Vegas, but my parents built the Virgin River Casino here in Mesquite, so that was I don't know, was it 90 something? And so we've been coming here for a long time, but I finally moved here in 2016.
Nice. What's one misconception that you feel like you and your family have? Is there anything that you'd like to address here?
No, I know growing up, not growing up, growing up, I guess. But when I moved here, there were a lot of comments like, you were born with a golden spoon in your mouth. And I was running for city council, so nobody really knew me. I just moved here, and then I decided I was going to run for city council. And everyone's like, oh, you're a carpetbagger, you just moved here to run for city council and whatever, you know. People that hate you are going to hate you no matter what. There's nothing, well, I take that back. I think some people are watching the show and they may have had preconceived notions about me, and maybe those are changing. I don't know. Well, to be determined. But there were a lot of comments from people that didn't know me that when I started running were, you know, I didn't really have a job. I was just taken care of by my parents, like some rich kid, whatever. And I'm not saying that I didn't have a blessed life growing up, but I moved out when I was, 18, had my first kid when I was 21. So obviously my parents helped me, and I was very fortunate, and still am very fortunate. But my parents don't support me, I'm not financially or whatever. And I built all this on my own. It took me a long time to figure it out, but running for politics, all that stuff. Obviously they donated to my campaigns and have always supported me like that, but I had to go and meet people that I didn't know, and my parents aren't necessarily involved in politics. So this is all something that I built. The reputation I have, the stuff that I've built, I built that. And I was only able to do that because I grew up in a family where I saw entrepreneurial people. And so to me, that's second nature. Working for someone else is literally torture. You telling me I have to be somewhere is hell to me. If I had to do something, I would, I'll thank you to not touch that typewriter. If you teased, if you tell me to do it, I'm not going to want to do it.
Right.
But I will come to work at 6 a.m. and stay until midnight and work all hours on my own accord.
And if I may say, that's the kind of personality that does usually succeed in business. It takes that level of being kind of a control freak,
Right. I got lucky. I got good genetics. I was born in the best country in the world, in a family that they were practically orphans. My dad and his brothers, their mom passed away when they were really young, or at least when my dad was really young, and they went and lived with their aunt and had nothing, and built, because he did things that people can't even fathom doing.
Right.
And so it was cool to be able to see that.
Yeah. And to your point about the silver spoon thing, I don't think I've ever seen anybody who works as hard as you do, as relentlessly as you do. And nothing could be further from the truth from my experience working with you. I've been working with you for about a year now, but very seriously for 4 months. And over that time, even I've grown as a person as a result of even seeing that drive and being exposed to it. So on the record right now, I just want to say thank you. It is really inspiring.
Sure.
And I'm looking forward to continuing working with you in that capacity. But yeah, you never stop taking calls. Your timer is going off. You just snooze it for 5 minutes. It goes back off. It's just a nonstop stream of, I'm like, wow, do you even have time to think or to be yourself? What is that like working so much so often?
I don't know. I guess it's just my personality. I kind of thrive on it, which I wish I didn't. I think we were talking about this yesterday or the day before, being bored. Humans are never bored anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I would feel guilty if I was bored.
Right.
Which isn't good either, right? You
Right.
need to have an off.
Well, that's the whole argument, that we lost something when everything started flashing notifications in our faces and we're constantly reaching for something to pass the time. It's because we need to establish a baseline in our minds and how we're thinking. We need to be able to hear ourselves think in order to stay on track or whatever. But I think it's different. That's people, scrolling feeds that really doesn't lend to productivity or give them any sort of benefit. This is a little different. You have goals, you're running a business. So I do think that you're the exception to that. I do think it is healthy for people to have downtime,
Right.
even if it's forced, even if it drives you insane. But we're going to work on that.
Yeah. I mean, you know how it is. When we started working full time together, which I'm so glad that you finally gave in and said okay, but it would be well, it's after hours, da da da, and I was like, I think once you finally got to see, it's when I get home, I'll be watching YouTube or doing something or whatever. You know, honestly, church. I'll be at church and I feel so bad because I'm sitting at church and I'm like, I shut my phone off at church and I just sit there and I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to be present because this is the 1-2 hours a week that I'm just like dedicating to God and being at church. And that's when I have like the most kind of epiphanies and ideas about things. And I've thought, you know, oh, you need to focus on like being here. But I think there is something to being bored. It's like, I need that time to actually come up with something. You got to unplug. It'll be like if you're driving, listening to music, or, you know, when you're not supposed to be thinking. I guess that's where the after hours thing came in. Like when I'm just relaxing, that's when all the brilliance happens.
Right.
It's like, why can't I shut it off? But,
right.
You know, that's good. Just means I love my job. I really do love my job. So I guess I'm excited about it.
Yeah. And I think you'd be miserable without you're so used to the drive and the constant nag of your responsibilities right now. I think
Right.
you'd kind of be miserable without it. Not saying you wouldn't like to go to Tahiti or whatever, but
the time where it makes me feel bad is like, you know, I need to be more present for family, like
right.
my parents, my kids. But I also feel like I had kids young. I had my first kid when I was literally like 21 and 3 days old. So I had just turned 21 and then I had my first kid. And, it just, I was a full-time parent for a long time,
right.
you know, and that's really was my focus. And now that my kids are gone, it feels like I have the time to just do this. And but I still need to call my kids and like call my parents and hang out with my family.
Right.
It just feels like I've kind of gone, I'm kind of a one-trick pony person. I'm all or nothing on everything, which is good and bad.
Right. So I didn't want this to be a puff piece. I wanted to ask you genuine questions that people may have lingering in the back of their heads. And I've asked a few people around in the periphery to, if you had one thing that you wish you could share with everybody about Annie, what would it be? And they all had their different answers.
That's cool.
Two of them had the same answer. We'll start with one suggestion was that you are always working. You're dedicated to the people who you work with. We've got a video we're cooking up about that one too. It's going to be awesome. I can't more on this. Just remember jet ski. Okay. You'll know about it later. But anyway,
Sweet.
So the one that the two agreed on was your generosity. So as a friend, you genuinely care about people. You are an empathetic person. You have a reputation, if you don't mind me saying, being kind of a hard ass, being maybe a little bit crass, you know.
A little bit.
Maybe one of the boys smoking a cigar, you know. But I'm genuinely, I'll be hard pressed to think of another person as genuinely caring and generous as you are. So I just want to say thank you from everybody that, you know, you've worked with and everybody. You guys know she goes above and beyond for people. And I would be remiss if I didn't do my part to let that be known.
You know, in politics and everything, I guess, anytime you do anything where you're standing out and you're not just like in the crowd, there's going to be critics. And I think for the most part, I take it pretty well, but there are like, it does bother me when people don't like me or don't like something that I've done, which I don't think is like something that you can tell all the time. You know, I think it bothers me probably. I mean, it's 50-50 probably, but it bothers me a lot to know, like, if somebody's upset at me or somebody doesn't like, you know, isn't happy with something that I've done as far as service or actually conflict really bothers me. But you probably wouldn't know that from being in the world. You know, there's so many times when I'll have a conflict with someone and then I like won't even want to look at my phone because I can't like, it physically just makes me feel terrible knowing that somebody's upset at me or like, I mean, if I get in a fight with someone, I'm usually the first person to call them and be like, you know, sorry. Like, you know, as I've gotten older, it's just like, what is the point of this? What is the point of being upset? But then there are times when you have to be a hard ass, you know? And so being soft and hard, they're not mutually unexclusive. There's just timing for everything.
Right.
And I think it's easier for me to be, I guess my thing is that old saying about like there's sheep and then there's like the dogs, like you know, the defenders. And I'm not saying everyone's sheep, and I'm not a sheep, because we all are in our own respects. But if it comes to protecting someone, I will go ape shit. I don't know how else to say it. Like, I will just defend people that I care about, and that's resonated through my family, my clients, politics. But when it comes to me, I'm a little bit like a doormat sometimes. You know, it's just, I don't know. That's the way I am.
Well, you know me, I stay off of social media for as much as I can, but I will say that the algorithm knows what I like, because every time I do pop in and check on Facebook, they show me a thread that you're going at it back and forth with somebody, and it may be 12 comments in. We get some caps lock here and there. It's really entertaining, and I love to see it. And I'm just sitting there championing. I'm like, yeah, get them. But for somebody who doesn't like conflict, I think it's interesting to see that dichotomy, that other side of you. So that maybe not a lot of people get to see, but we're going to start showing them. We're going to start showing the real Annie Black here, and that's basically the purpose of all of this.
Cool.
Anything you want to add to the people before we go?
No, I mean, I'm just, every day I'm grateful and thankful that people have supported me as much as they have through everything. It feels like anytime I throw myself into one project or the other, I mean, you know how I am. I have like a bajillion ideas, but no matter what I'm doing, there's always people out there that are willing to support me, and I'm so always grateful for that. Like, I don't always feel like I deserve it. You know I do my best, and like I always go into everything with a good heart, but it's just like, wow, when people will support me, and like, this is my dream. You're here, we're doing this. This is only possible because people support what we do, and like, let us sell their house, and, you know, sell their stuff at their estate sales, you know, and so that's a lot of trust and a lot of faith in me, and I appreciate that. Yep.
Well, it's well-deserved on your behalf, because we're going to keep supporting you, keep championing you and all this. And, you know, lovely set. We threw this together this morning, and I don't think it could have turned out any better than it has. So I'm excited to be back in here, and
I know, I love it.
We're going to start something special with this one. But thank you for taking the time to talk to me and the people out there, and we're going to do this again.
Cool.
All right.
It's fun to be in the hot seat.
It's going to get even hotter. Stay tuned. Okay, see ya.
See ya. Cool. Ding. We didn't die. You had to write the questions down?
No. I'm just pretending it.
Is that just like my sweatshirt just to hide?
No, because you can't hide this. Okay. There's no camera tricks for this.
Not here or here.
Right here. Yeah. This is what French dip does to a person. Are you quite finished? First question, am I fired? Just kidding.
Depends. Ask me when the interview's over.
Yeah, right?